today?
World today.
FBI?
FBI.
CIA.
That we are 100% behind free our beloved sister, Chicago Shakur. I want to say to us that we got to look at the time. And here's a world now that they have incarcerated black men. But now that they have incarcerated us, 2.3 million black men all across America, yet we are the minority definitely in this country. But if you look at this now, they feel like they have us. So now they're making a slaughter against black women. But let's make this clear. Not just over the world. We're talking about this onslaught slaughter that's taking place. I'm going to speak from my heart. We're talking about what's taking place right here in the state of New Jersey just the other day. Laura Hill. You know, a young black woman, and then they couldn't find nothing else but to give her time. And then here in the state of New Jersey, now you come back and you now you got our sister J&S and Assata Shakur. You got her, and you come back and you put a bounty on her in this hard times like this. But I want you to know that we well aware of the onslaught that is taking place. Then to even take and use their media to slander our wisdom. So we're not going be out here like we don't know what's going on. We do know what's going on. You got our young men in all the prisons and halfway houses here in the state. You have nothing of aid. Everything that come in, you have relief in all the Caucasian neighborhoods, but you act like Hurricane Sandy did nothing in our neighborhood. I want to say to you, we are aware of you today, and we know now, we look at this life and this moment that our sisters under did the same way that Harriet Tubman was when she was trying to free the slaves and she was going back in. That's right. And here's a strong black woman. And we are aware that you put this bounty because you know we're aware that there's no way in the world that our sister could come back here to this country and that she could get a fair trial. So we want you to know that we well aware and we stand here with her and we're with the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who want all of those that are held in federal prison that have not been taught Islam, that they should be free until they hear the word. But I want you to know that we are no way asleep to it. We're going to continue to talk to our people to wake us up. And this is the only way that we can edify and teach this, is that we teach you and don't be afraid to come among us and hear this kind of truth in this hour, because this right here is the final hour, is the doom of a country that billions of dollars in debt. Now I'm talking about our sister here, Assata Shakur. Let me hold that here. This is what I'm talking about, but I want to show you some of the time, and I hope that we don't be fooled. You know, we owe this country, we owe China $1 billion. And if China right now started to cash in on her debt, I forgot exactly how much it is, this country don't even have enough money to pay China the debt that they owe China. So the dollar is really falling. This country dollar is so weak. So I would say to our people, and all righteous people, all who want to join on the truth in this day and out, don't you fall for this little $1 million bounty, because the paper and the dollar in this country is really not worth nothing. Let's stand doing truth. Yes, unite. Let's free our sister, our people, and let's get prepared to make a better place on this earth that we can live in. Thank you. God bless you. I leave you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
I'm considered a cub of Assata, right? They've known Assata forever, right? And these are comrades of Assata. Not just having put down all that they've done all over the world for us, especially for us in this town, but they're comrades of Assata. Amanifu is a comrade of Assata, right? So this is something we take real serious, right? Now, just background. course, y'all know why we're here. From 1 million to 2 million, and adding to the domestic terrorist list, or to the terrorist list. You know she's not a terrorist. In fact, we're saying several things. Number one, that Assata is innocent. Number two, she is not a terrorist. Number three, we want your hands off of Assata.
Right.
We want all of her comrades from Sudiata and all around, all of those COINTELPRO targets.
That's right.
In the interest of justice, FBI want to do something right, free our political prisoners.
That's right.
Even your backwards racist imperialist government acknowledged that your COINTELPRO operations were wrong and illegal.
That's right.
And they were supposed to stop. She was being prepared to be put on trial. The late Donald Payne, then Councilman Donald Payne, y'all remember this, right? Put together a survey of all the populations of every county in the state of New Jersey. And he said, based on his research, and it was thoroughly done, that if there's any county that has the population makeup that would reflect the proper audience and jury for Assata, it is Essex County.
Right.
Because of its large black and Latino population. Of course, Assata and Sudiata were ultimately tried separately in all white juries in Middlesex and in Morris County, respectively.
Right.
Middlesex County jury that Assata faced, half of the jury pool had stated connections to law enforcement. So you know where they were. That's not supposed to happen if it's going to be fair. So we know it wasn't fair. Sudiata was tried in the richest and the whitest and the most racist county in the state of New Jersey. I'm talking about Morris County. Fair trial, forget about it. That's why these cases need to be reopened. That's why we need that kind of commission to get them justice. And in the interest of justice, just for all that time and all that hell and the lives that have been lost and how that cost them their lives, they need to be standing by the FBI to denounce their president doing the wrong thing. Again, ain't nobody vote for that. And to get on the right side of the history instead of betraying this historical moment. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm trying to give you some things to do.
Okay.
This ain't just a one-time hit. We want this thing to be off of her head.
Yeah.
Right? We want to get where we need to go with all of these questions and all of our freedom fighters. So this is what we got to do. All right? Baba, I call him Baba because he's old enough to be my father. But he is the mama. Y'all hear now from Baba Mary Baraka.
Yeah, Allahu Akbar.
Klan.
Yeah.
Klan. During slavery, that was the Klan. After Obama get elected, here comes the Tea Party. It's the same thing, you know. But the point is this: with Obama and Zaid was on this. If you read the newspapers recently, you see that black people voted more than white people.
Yeah.
For the first time in history, we outvoted white people. I mean, we was going to vote. People stayed up there all night in Miami and places like that to vote. So this whole thing about holding your tongue when it comes to us, that's Uncle Tom stuff. You can't hold your tongue when it comes to the people. We are your constituency.
That's right.
You know, now, the Latinos and the Asians that helped us, and the progressive white people, even they are minorities, progressive white people. But at the same time, it is the Afro-American people that put you in there.
Right.
That's right.
And where's your response? Where's your reality?
That's right.
Republicans, we know, I like to say the sisters syndrome. We get Obama in office, right away, here come the Tea Party. Next thing you know, all the Republicans that took off their Klan robes and went into the House of Representatives.
They put them on that next
You understand? So now you got the Klan in the House of Representatives, in the Tea Party. You got them also in the Supreme Court, despite not you got Citizens United, which says that the corporations can give as much money as they want in these elections. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So they're going to try to beat you down with money. But money don't vote. You remember that. Anybody that tells you that your vote don't mean anything, you still a vote. Black people fought and died.
That's right.
Nobody else I know fought and got killed to vote. When Stokely was down in the South, walking around, and they killed all of them. What was they killing for? Because it was terrorists? It was killing because he was trying to vote.
Yes, sir.
You see? So that's the importance of that. And now with this attack on Assata, and also last night they killed Malcolm X's grandson.
Yes, sir.
They said they don't know whether he was pushed off a building or shot. One thing we know, he was dead, and we know the people that want him dead.
Yes, sir.
You know, so assume whether we get the details or not, we can say that's another one of the murders.
That's right.
That they did. You know, they killed this boy. He's what, barely 30 years old. He's in his 20s. He's in his 20s. They killed him. So, I wish I had a poem I wrote, but I don't have it. But I mean, all of these people that they killed, whether you're talking about now, brother in Venezuela, you know, or what you're talking about over in Palestine when they killed Gaddafi, you know, all those people make the world look safe. In Libya, after they killed Gaddafi, what is it? It's just anarchy. And sometimes you think what the United States wants to do, 911 was a hoax.
Yes.
The only thing that 911 did was give them an opportunity to go over to the Middle East and stay.
Yes.
They've overthrown Libya, they've overthrown Iraq, they've overthrown Afghanistan. You understand? They got their eyes on Syria. You understand? And eventually they're going to make a big mistake and mess with Iran. That's the big mistake coming up in the future. Because when they mess with Iran, they're going to actually have messed with somebody they don't want to mess with. But the point is, we can see now this is an imperialist country.
Yes, sir.
It's our country. We was born here, nursed in this bosom of this terrible town.
Right.
But this is an imperialist country.
That's right.
Whether it got a Negro at the top or not.
Yes, sir.
The wheels of this work, and they're working. You know, why now they would attack Assata? Because it's about Cuba. It's about Cuba.
That's right.
You know, they done got rid of Chavez, and you know, without Chavez, it's much less safe. You know, it's much less safe. Without Arafat, it's much less safe in the world. Every time they kill one of our leaders somewhere, it gets less safe for you here.
Right.
You know, every time we lose some of these great poets that we lost, whether it's Sekou Sundiata, James Cortez, or Luis Reyes Rivera, it gets less safe. There's one less person to sit up and say, that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. And that's what we need now. So what we got to do more than anything else is, the Negro, you say, what's his name? Aaron Trader. Yeah.
Aaron Tom.
No, it shows you back in our naive days in the 1970s when we ran the white people out of here, we thought everything was cool.
That's
We
right.
didn't understand classes and class struggle.
Yes. Very true.
But that's a Negro there at the FBI. You understand? That's a Negro president of the United States. You understand? I just want you to understand. After we beat him up and do what we got to do, Malcolm X's grandson. Y'all understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So May 19th, we need to really recognize Malcolm X, but also the fact that they bumped up his grandson. And I got to let him. It's a young man. He ain't even got his mind together. Why? Because they don't want him to get it.
That's right.
Because the name conjures too much fire for them. You say Malcolm X, all you have to do is say Malcolm X. See, that's fire.
Yes, sir.
That's the power of the word. You know, because it brings fire down. So, I'm going to leave you with that. You know, you can see this Negro president at the same time. We got the schools being overthrown. These schools, well, public education was fought for by slaves. Wasn't no public education in America. Was not even for white people. Was no public education. Public education was created by the slaves saying, we want an education. We want an education. We free, we want an education. But after the slavery's over, here comes the Klan. So this is our post-slavery entry of the Klan. This is just another indication that the Klan is alive and well and now wearing Negro suits, Negro faces. Same thing, the same thing. I read in a book called The World in Africa by Du Bois. He said, understand this. You can't vote for the actual devil, but then the devil's associate We're a different color. You go for the ghost. I go for it too. I was happy when Obama got elected. But I didn't realize that he was going to make the police the chess game, and he was going to crown himself throughout. So I hope y'all will continue to fight. Don't wilt. I know it's hard, you know, and they done replaced all of our speakers in the media. Now we got to look at people with their hair different weird ways, talking about money and dope. But hold on. Don't give it up.
That's right. That's right. Not to be lost in this is the central significance of that liberated zone, that palenque, that space for people who need space when they're trying to get away from the beast.
That's right.
Called Cuba.
Yes.
There's no country, then there's no people. For those of you that don't know, on this earth at this moment, at this juncture in history, that have been more generous
That's right.
with what they have than any other grouping or entity or nation on this earth.
That's right.
Right.
Cuba. Cuba.
That's right.
International human solidarity is something they take cold serious. They had put together a medical infrastructure, not just to take care of the poverty in their country. They got their doctors all over the world. Haiti got crushed with a savage earthquake several years ago.
Yes, sir.
The United States brought in troops and blocked supplies from coming in. Cuban doctors were already on the ground trying to put together that infrastructure to help save our people in Haiti. Huh? Brazil, big as Brazil is, the biggest country outside of the United States in the Western Hemisphere, is bringing in Cuban doctors to help their medical infrastructure as we speak. As we speak. And of course, Assata is not at all the only exile fleeing injustice in this world in Cuba. People have been coming to Cuba from all over the world since they liberated their land back in 1959. Right? And it is truly an example that they do not want to catch fire. If I was talking about fire, they do not want that example to catch fire. And looking at how they were able to do Libya, Obama did this. Obama destroyed the most generous African nation on this earth in this juncture. He did that. Y'all didn't vote for that. Y'all didn't vote for that. I know you didn't vote for that. But that's what happened. And they didn't tell that like that, so we're going to tell it like that. If you think that this is not about trying to lay the groundwork for some kind of provocation with Cuba, you are out of your African mind. Okay? So when you get on Facebook and tell your president, and I hope you do it, hands off Assata.
Hands off Assata.
You can tell him that he was wrong with that mess they pulled in Libya. Wrong with that. Well, Brother Imam,
yes, sir.
Appreciate that Libya was able to bring together the idea of socialism and Islam together like no one else had done in the world. And even though he was North African or quote an Arab, he would be the first to tell you that Libya is an African nation.
That's right.
And just like Cuba, militarily and medically and in other ways, helped countries all over the world, Libya did the same thing.
Without a doubt.
Libya did the same thing. Our people were free from the scourge of apartheid because of the humanitarian and military assistance they got from Libya and from Cuba. Huh? Cuba answered. Did y'all hear what he said? He said, Africa called, Cuba answered. Now some of us will even remember when Barbara Walters interviewed him. Remember that? and Barbara Walters and well, Mr. Fidel, why are you in Africa? Well, she could even get it out of nothing. So y'all just said, because Cuba is an African country. Paralyzed a white woman, didn't know what to say. He knocked the brains out of her head. Okay? Y'all know Mr. Mayor Shakur, but he was also in the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army. All right?
This is one of my teachers.
That's right.
One of my early teachers from C-Fun. Back on High Street, back in the day. Real briefly. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I just want to say hands off Assata.
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 Free Sundiata.
Free Sundiata.
Free Sundiata.
Free Sundiata.
And God bless Zaid Shakur.
God
bless his soul. Very personal friends of mine, comrades of mine. I love Assata very much. I love Zaid very much. And Sundiata. What has happened, unfortunately, is our people, the masses, not just people of color, but the masses, period, have lost consciousness. Political, economical, social, military consciousness. And it's a sad state of affairs. But this too will pass. God willing, this too will pass. We have to continually raise the consciousness of our youth. Reactive rate. Like my daughter told me yesterday, she said, Dad, you used to be an energizer bunny, now just accept the fact you're a Duracell. I was like, no, I can't do that. So I think Zaid, I've known him for years, decades, always enacting the struggle. Baba here. You know, some of you others, I've seen your faces, I may not know you personally, but those of us who've been underground, on the ground, it's time to come out. We have to become more politically involved, educate the people, and do what we can do. Even if it's a few, it doesn't matter. Revolutions always start with a few people. Then the masses join in.
All right.
You know, so may Allah bless us to be successful in our efforts to raise the consciousness of the people, particularly the youth, get them back involved, but they don't understand that politics affects every aspect of their life. Every aspect. They don't get it. It's about I don't want to say. But God bless us all. We thank each and every one of you for coming out here in support of Assata Shakur, Sundiata, Akoli, Zaid Shakur, and many other revolutionaries who may not have been in their spirit still here with us. But we here representing them. Power to the people.
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 Allahu Akbar.
Allahu
Akbar.
Allahu
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
God is the greatest.
God is the greatest.
They need to follow the beat of our drum. We're not going to follow the beat of their drum. That's why these gatherings are important. We're not going. We might pay attention to the law for everybody's safety, but we are not going to be in the Black Liberation Army.
Right.
Harriet had the price on her head. So they're meant to be a general in the Underground Railroad. That's what it meant. Everybody can step on prison here in New Jersey. On Black Solidarity Day.
That's right.
November 2nd, for the record's clear. They lost their minds. How did they get her out? And it was not only did they get her.
The People's Organization for Progress calls upon the Federal Bureau of Investigation to remove Assata Shakur, Joanne Chesimard, from its most wanted terrorist list. She does not belong on the list because Ms. Shakur was never charged nor convicted of an act of domestic or international terrorism. To place her on such a list is fundamentally unjust. It is a perversion of justice and involves the ex post facto application of terrorist laws and definitions of terrorism that were not even in existence or applied to her case at the time of her arrest and conviction. Furthermore, she did not commit the crime that she is accused of. She was placed on the list because her conviction connected her to the murder of a police officer. However, evidence in her case shows that she could not have shot and killed that officer. She became a fugitive because given the circumstances of her case, the atmosphere of repression, and the racism of the criminal justice system, she could not get justice in this country, and to remain here may have cost her her life. The move to place her on the list and the doubling of her bounty to $2 million has little to do with justice and everything to do with politics. It is an opportunistic attempt to score political points in this highly charged post-Boston bombing environment. Placing Assata Shakur on the terrorist list when she was not convicted of a terrorist act is in essence falsely accusing her of a crime that she did not commit. It is the abandonment of the law in the name of enforcing the law. Like the war in Iraq, weapons of mass destruction, preemptive strikes, and the abandonment of international law, it is the establishment of a false premise as a rationale for violent action which has no legal basis but for which political support may be imagined or conjured up. Placing Assata Shakur on the terrorist list sets a dangerous precedent. With the false premise established, what will be next? Will Cuba be given the ultimatum to give up Shakur like the Afghanistan government was told to give up Osama bin Laden before the U.S. invasion of that country? Will there be a drone strike of Shakur's supposed residence in Cuba? Will Navy SEAL Team 7 be sent on a covert mission to assassinate Assata Shakur, who is an American citizen? By identifying Shakur as a terrorist, the FBI is taking the terrorist list and making it a political enemies list, which is an instrument of state terror. And why not? This fits in perfectly with unjust and illegal trillion-dollar wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, extraordinary renditions, black site secret prisons in foreign lands, torture, assassination of U.S. citizens, military courts, secret trials, Guantanamo, elimination of habeas corpus, indefinite detention, government domestic spying, arbitrary arrests, police brutality, racial profiling, stop and frisk, mass incarceration, school-to-prison pipeline, suppression of dissent, COINTELPRO type operations, ignoring the Constitution, trashing the Bill of Rights, and trampling upon civil liberties. And let's look at her accusers. Who is calling her a terrorist? The FBI, who spied on Dr. Martin Luther King? The FBI, whose director, J. Edgar Hoover, made it his mission to destroy Dr. King? The FBI, who engaged in acts of state terror that included assassination against people and organizations in the civil rights and black power movements? Who else is our accuser? The New Jersey State Police? The New Jersey State Police who shot up Newark and killed innocent people during the rebellion? The New Jersey State Police who for years engaged in the worst forms of racial profiling? The New Jersey State Police Department who government had to put it under a master to force it to reform its racist ways. With this precedent, the rights of all Americans are placed in greater jeopardy. Now anyone can be deemed a terrorist, not because this was proven in a court of law, but by fiat, proclamation, declaration by the President, the U.S. Attorney General, FBI, CIA, Homeland Security, or some other agency of the federal government. And this can be done not just for transgressions of the present, it can be done retroactively for sins of the past, 10, 20, 30, and 40 years ago. If the government doesn't like someone, just put them on the terrorist list. Of course, this exercise of 21st century U.S. democracy would not be complete unless accompanied by the economic incentive that American capitalism can provide. In this age of robber billionaires, a $1 million bounty on the head of Assata Shakur was not enough. It had been doubled to 2 million. Who are the 2 million pieces of silver for? Are they for enterprising U.S. citizens? No. Assata Shakur has been given political asylum in Cuba. This pot of gold is to entice elements within the Cuban society to violate the laws and policies of the Cuban government. The FBI and company hope that in Cuba there are corrupt persons within the police, or criminal elements, or people opposed to the government who will take the bait and do this bit of subcontracting work and keep some of the heat off of the bosses here in the U.S. They hope that there are Hamid Karzais in Cuba who would like to have bags of money delivered to them on a monthly basis. Bring us Assata Shakur and you too can be a millionaire. Dead or alive has not been specified. The placing of Assata Shakur on the terrorist list, while portrayed as a noble act in the attempt to get justice for a slain police officer, is in fact a shameful act of revenge, opportunism, political manipulation, and authoritarianism. It is part and parcel of a corrosive trend eating away at the democratic institutions and processes in our country for more than half a century, and which has accelerated since 9/11. Assata Shakur should not be on the terrorist list. She should be removed from that list just as Nelson Mandela was removed from that list only a few years ago. When the threat of terrorism and the terrorist label is misused in this manner, the real victims of real acts of terror are dishonored. Power to the people.